So this is the latest that we got for you regarding the Noida case. Let's move on to some international news now that's coming in. US President Donald Trump was all up in arms on Truth Social after the 2026 Grammy Awards, an event that was rife with anti-ICE commentary and whatnot. However, it wasn't musicians' vocal criticism of America's federal immigration authorities that compelled the MAGA leader to unload a furiously lengthy rant on social media. It was Grammy host Trevor Noah. Let me, in fact, go across to my colleague Aditya Vadavan with more on this. Aditya, US President Donald Trump has taken to social media to rant about the Grammys and whatever transpired over there.
Well, absolutely. Shivani, President Trump has threatened to sue comedian Trevor Noah after, while hosting the 68th Grammy Awards, Noah suggested that Trump had visited Epstein Island with former U.S. President Bill Clinton. During the telecast, while announcing the Song of the Year award, Noah said, "There you have it, Song of the Year. Congratulations, Billie Eilish. Wow. That's a Grammy that every artist wants almost as much as Trump wants Greenland." He added, which makes sense because since Epstein's gone, he needs a new island to hang out with Bill Clinton. I told you, it's my last year. What are you going to do about it? So, Trump reacting to Noah's remarks, Trump called the Grammy Awards the worst and described Noah as a poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC. So, taking to his Truth Social, Trump said he had never been to Epstein Island and had never before been accused of it. So clearly, this war of words happening between Trevor Noah and U.S. President Donald Trump, and he is known, Shivani, for President Trump for, suing criticizers, and definitely this is the sort of, war of words that is happening between the two. Shivani.
And Aditya, when we are looking at this, Trump has obviously taken, cognizance of this entire event and those anti-ICE comments that were in fact present during the entire event.
Absolutely, he's also, taken note of the anti-ICE protest, and he has called everybody a tyrant. So indeed, at this juncture, Shivani, things are, he is turning very, very reactionary, to every adverse comment about him. He, comments like, it needs to be seen how things unfold in this regard, Shivani.
Aditya, if I can request you to please stay on with us. We have some more inputs. In a new social media post, Elon Musk has now defended himself after releases from the Epstein files showed his emails to Jeffrey Epstein expressing uninterest in visiting the Epstein Little St. James Islands. Now, Musk has now stated, and I quote, "Epstein hounded me relentlessly to go to his island and I always declined. Not you though, you actually went. What gifts did you bring to Epstein when you went to this island?" So Aditya, now we have Elon Musk trying to give a clarification when those emails surfaced after the release of more documents regarding the Epstein files.
Absolutely, Shivani. You see, tech billionaire Elon Musk is in spotlight again for wrong reasons. After the U.S. Department of Justice released the latest set of the Epstein files, documents show that Musk intended to visit the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's private island on 2 separate occasions. The emails taken at their face value hints that Musk had a fairly pally email interaction going on with Epstein. This has sparked a fresh wave of accusations that Musk is dirty, as more sordid figures mentioned in the Epstein emails and files. So, however, the Tesla CEO has strongly rejected the accusations. Although he has acknowledged the emails, he called it very little correspondence and claimed that the current reports are misinterpreting what he wrote in mails. So, Musk again wrote a lengthy rebuttal on his social media platform. He again highlighted that he did nothing wrong, at least nothing beyond whatever he wrote in the emails. Shivani.
Right, Aditya, please do stay on with us. We have some more inputs. Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Støre has said that he agrees with Crown Princess Mette-Marit's admission of poor judgment after it emerged that she had extensive contacts with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The princess features hundreds of times between 2011 and 2014 in the latest files released by the US Department of Justice relating to Epstein. This latest embarrassment for the royal family comes on the eve of her son's 7-week trial in Oslo on 38 charges, including rape and assault. Princess married Norway's Crown Prince Haakon as a commoner when her son Maurice Borg was 4 and is in line to become queen when her husband accedes to the throne. All right, so Aditya, on this front as well, we have a controversy brewing in Norway because the to-be queen, who might be crowned as queen, also finds her mention in the Epstein files.
Well, absolutely. The Norwegian diplomat Terje Larsen was president of the prestigious International Peace Institute and resigned in 2020 after he was linked to Jeffrey Epstein. The politician was also a former United Nations envoy. The email triggered a massive backlash on social media, and definitely, Jeffrey, it needs to be seen how, things unfold. The Department of Justice recently released 3 million pages of the files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Among them is an email apparently from Norwegian diplomat Terje Larsen that contains derogatory remarks about Indians. The file suggests that Larsen made an offensive remark to Jeffrey Epstein after the former financier forwarded him an email. So definitely, at this juncture, these as successfully the US going forward, when US Department of Justice further releases the records and documents pertaining to Epstein files, several more chilling details will come out from those unclassified documents, and definitely needs to be seen who all had sent the emails or initiated any communication with Jeffrey Epstein. Shivani.
All right. Thank you so much, Aditya, for all those inputs on those various stories. With that, we're wrapping up this bulletin and slipping into this commercial.